Good day, everyone. I'm Erma Suryani from Institut Teknologi 10 November in Surabaya, Indonesia. Firstly, we would like to thank to the Committee of International Conference on Science and Technology Research for giving us an opportunity to present our research entitled Scenario Model to Reduce Traffic Congestion Using Intelligent Transportation Systems. We are doing this research with Ruli Agus Hendrawan, Fisar Safaat, and Alivia Asara. And all of us are from Institut Teknologi 10 November. We have made some outline of this presentation. We will start with introduction, research objectives, method, model development, model validation, scenario development, and will be ended with conclusion and further research. Traffic congestion occurs when traffic conditions are unstable and the speed of operation decreases rapidly. Intelligent Transportation Systems, or ITS, is the application of technology in the fields of electronics, computers, and telecommunication to make transportation infrastructures and facilities more informative, smooth, safe, and comfortable. Therefore, this research developed a scenario model to reduce traffic congestion using ITS. Our research objective is reducing traffic congestion using Intelligent Transportation System, or ITS. ITS has cameras and sensors to detect the number of vehicles. These detection results can be used as input in regulating and manipulating the time of traffic lights so that the flow of heavy traffic can run first. As a method used for scenario development to reduce traffic congestions, we utilize system dynamic simulation model based on consideration that system dynamics can accommodate non-linear relationships among variables that have significant contribution to traffic congestions. And here is some steps to develop system dynamic simulation model. As the first step to develop system dynamic simulation model, we need to develop causal loop diagram development. We may use this causal loop diagram development, or CLD, as the basic framework in developing system dynamic simulation models. As we can see from our causal loop diagram here, the traffic congestion depends on the average daily traffic, road capacity, and traffic monitoring using intelligent transportation systems. To develop a system dynamics model, we need to convert causal loop diagram, or CLD, into a stock and flow diagram, or SFD. SFD is a technique that represents a precise quantitative specification of all system components and their interrelations. And here is our SFD of total vehicle. As we can see from this SFD, total vehicle is the summation of total light vehicle and total heavy vehicle. And here is the SFD of the percentage of public transport users, the first SFD, and the second SFD is traffic monitoring using ITS. We can start from the first SFD. The percentage of public transport users depends on the number of population and the number of people who use public transport. And the second SFD is traffic monitoring using intelligent transportation system. From this SFD, we can see the traffic camera will detect the incoming vehicles when sensor technology is used to collect data on the number of vehicles. Here is the other SFD, SFD of traffic congestion. As we can see from this SFD, traffic congestion is influenced by hourly traffic volume and road capacity. And here is the model formulation for populations, the percentage of public transport users, and traffic congestion that can be seen in equation 1 to 3. And here is the simulation results of total vehicle. As we can see from this graph, total vehicles in Surabaya from 2005 to 2018 continued to increase with an average growth of 7% per year. In 2019, total vehicles have decreased by 18.4% due to the decreasing number of motorcycles. The other simulation results of our model is the percentage of public transport users. As we can see from this graph, the percentage of public transport user in the period of 2006 to 2011 tended to decrease, remaining 1.5% in 2011, which then fluctuating up and down in the 2011 to 2019 period, so that in 2019 it would be around 3.2% due to the increasing number of population, which was not in line with the increasing use of public transport. And this is the simulation result of traffic monitoring in Surabaya City using intelligent transportation systems. From this graph, we can see that the average number of vehicles per hour increased with a growth of 7% per year, so that it reached 20,452 vehicles per hour in 2018. However, this number decreased in 2019 to be 16,686 vehicles per hour due to the decreasing number of motorcycles. And here is the simulation results of traffic congestion. As we can see from this graph, traffic congestion exceeded 0.85 in 2005, 2009, 2012, 2014 to 2019. According to Hill and Quaritch, they stated that the maximum saturation level of traffic congestion was 85%. Therefore, it required a strategy to reduce traffic congestion. After we have simulated the models, we need to validate the model to check the model accuracy or validity. A model will be valid if the error rate is less than 5% and the error variance is less than 30%. And here is the equation of the error rate and the error variance. We have checked some error rate and error variance of some variables that have significant impact to traffic congestion, such as the average daily traffic of lean public transport, and also the average daily traffic of private car, as well as the average daily traffic of bus. And based on the above calculation, all the error rates are less than 5% and the error variances are less than 30%, which means that our model is valid. And here is the comparison between the model and data of the average daily traffic of lean public transport. And here is the comparison between the model and data of the average daily traffic of private car. And this is the comparison between the model and data of the average of daily traffic of bus. And after we validate our model, now we can develop a scenario to predict some possible future outcomes by changing the model structure and parameters. In this research, we developed a scenario to reduce traffic congestion using traffic monitoring and control system provided by intelligent transportation systems. And here is the stock and flow diagram of our scenario model. As we can see from this scenario model, by using traffic monitoring and control, the number of vehicles can be detected by sensors. Vehicle data are then delivered to ITS server as input for traffic signal control. The control method used is a dynamic control method that will prioritize dense lanes to get the green light. From this vehicle volume reduction per hour, then we can use it as feedback variable on the hourly traffic volume. And here is the simulation result of the traffic congestion after using traffic monitoring and control that can be below the maximum saturation level of 0.85. As we can see from this graph, traffic congestion was projected to be in the range of 0.71 to 0.79. Now we come into conclusion and further research. This research was designed to provide a comprehensive and objective assessment of reducing traffic congestion using simulation models and scenarios. The novel contribution of this research are formulating relationships between variables, building the dynamic behavior of traffic congestion, as well as developing scenarios to reduce traffic congestion using intelligent transportation systems. Some important factors that affect the traffic congestion are vehicle volume and road capacity. The result of simulation shows that traffic congestion after using traffic monitoring and control can reduce the traffic congestion below the maximum saturation level. In this case, traffic congestion was projected to be in the range of 0.71 to 0.79. Due to the decrease in vehicle volume is the impact of the implementation of ITS, which facilitates the traffic monitoring and control system. Further research is required to explore the impact of transit-oriented development, or TOD, in reducing the traffic congestion. TOD can have a positive impact on society by reducing the volume of vehicles and congestion on the highway network by facilitating the population preference of public transport compared to private modes of transportation. Yeah, and this is the end of our presentation. If you have any question, I will love to answer. Thank you.